Welcome to Santulan Yoga. For today's class, we will be focusing on legs and feet and hips and a little bit into the lower back as well, and front of the hips too. We'll mainly be doing a lot of work with ourselves lying on our back. We will be doing a couple of standing postures through the middle of class today, but mainly we'll be lying on our back on the mat. You may want a strap, you may want a couple of blocks for this class, and if it's a bit chilly where you are today, then you might want a blanket as well. Otherwise, we will make a start with toes pose. So this can be quite an intense stretch, so I'll give you a couple of options if it does get too much. So starting on the shins, tucking the toes under, keeping the knees and the big toes together, and just spreading the toes out along the mat and lifting the spine up so that our weight is coming over our hips and over our feet. Now the idea here is that we'll be opening up through the bottoms of the feet. So this, after a few moments, this will start to get quite intense. If it does become too unbearable, then we just shift our weight forward over top of the knees to take any pressure off. If that still isn't enough, then you can bring the hands down to the mat as well. But if it's feeling good so far, then keeping the spine nice and straight, making sure we're tucking that tailbone under, that we're not flexing through the lower back too much. Rolling the shoulders back and down. You can place the hands on top of the thighs. Breathing into the stretch here. As the stretch becomes more intense, making sure that we're coming into that nice, long, slow, deep breathing. Starting to get pretty intense for me now. All right, we'll do one more breath here. And very slowly bring the weight over top of the knees, bringing the palms down, coming into a tabletop position, and just very slowly releasing the toes from the mat. Oh, you might like to give them a little tap. All right, now coming down onto our backs. Feet at one end, releasing the spine down. Zipping both legs together and bringing the arms alongside the body. As we inhale, lifting the right leg straight up to that 90-degree angle. And as we exhale, releasing the leg back down. Inhaling, leg straight up again. Exhaling, straight back down. One more time, inhaling, right leg straight up. Exhaling, releasing back down. All right, this time as we inhale, bring the right leg straight up again. Then as we exhale, bringing the right leg out to the right. down and around. So making a circle with our hip socket, inhaling. Now you can make the circle as small or as big as you feel comfortable, depending on how warm you're feeling. One more time, inhaling straight up. Exhale out to the right, down and around. This time reversing, so inhale out to the right, up to center, exhaling straight down. Inhaling, exhaling. Once more, inhaling, exhaling. This time inhaling, bringing the right leg straight up, bending through the knee, and we're going to make a cycling motion. Cycling, straightening the leg, bending the knee, straightening the leg, bending the knee, straightening the leg, and reverse, knee up to the chest, extend the lower leg, extending the leg all the way down, inhaling, exhaling, once more, inhaling, exhaling. All right, bending through both knees now. Placing the right ankle across onto the left knee. Reaching through both legs, bringing the hands around the hamstring of the left leg. Squeezing the left leg in, but also resisting with the right leg, opening out through the right hip socket and the knee, pressing that right knee away. So we'll stay here for a few breaths. One more breath. Releasing the hands, releasing the left foot down towards the floor, uncrossing the legs and extending both legs straight back down again. All right, left leg this time. Inhaling, left leg straight up. Exhaling down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. This time inhaling, left straight up. Exhaling out to the left, down and around. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now reverse, inhale out to the left, up to center. Exhaling down, inhaling, exhaling. Once more, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, left leg straight up, bending through the knee, cycling down, extending the leg long. Inhale straight up. Exhale, bend through the knee, straight back down. Once more, inhale straight up. Bend through the knee, exhale down. Inhale, bend through the left knee, extend the lower leg up, exhaling, straight back down. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. All right, bending both knees again, bringing the right leg, foot flat onto the floor, bending, bringing the left knee in towards the chest and crossing the left ankle on top of the right knee. Bringing the arms through, interlacing the fingers, squeezing onto the right hamstring. Drawing the right knee in, but resisting with the left leg. Opening up through that left hip socket, opening up through that left knee. Holding here for a few breaths. One more. And releasing the hands, releasing the legs. All right, for this next one, you can either choose to keep the knees bent, bringing the knees over top of the hips, lifting the lower legs up so you're at 90 degrees, or you can extend the legs long. Either way, bringing the arms out to shoulder height, palms face down. What we'll do is we'll inhale to the center, and with control, zipping both legs together, whether bent or straight, we're going to slowly, using our abdominal muscles, slowly release both legs down, getting down to the right. See how close we can get those feet to our right hand or right arm. Once you've reached the arm or the floor, just releasing through the stomach and allowing the belly to gently twist. Taking a moment here. And when you're ready, inhaling. Bring both legs straight back up with as much control and as strength as you can through the abdominals. All right, pausing here at the top, inhaling, and with control, gently exhaling both the legs over to the left. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. See how close you can get those feet and those legs to your outstretched arm. Once the feet touch the ground, you can soften through the stomach. And if the neck is okay, you can turn your head and look along the right arm. If your legs are on your left arm, you can reach down with the left hand, grip onto the foot or the legs and encourage the legs up a little bit higher. You get a slightly different stretch, slightly different twist through the spine, the higher your legs go. All right, releasing the legs. And as we inhale, bring both legs straight up to the center. All right, we'll do 2 more rounds. So inhaling to center. Exhaling with control, releasing both legs together, down to the right. Maybe you can try going a little bit higher this time. Pausing here with the legs down to the floor. Take a nice easy breath. Then when you're ready, inhaling again. With control, lifting both legs straight back up, trying to keep those legs zipped together. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, releasing down to the left side. Slowly, slowly, slowly with control, try and get those left legs up a little bit higher. Closer towards the shoulder. Take some slow breaths here. Without thinking about it, inhaling again. Bring both legs back up to center. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Once more over to the right. See if you can go a little bit higher again with control, nice and slow. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling again, bringing both legs straight up to the center. Exhaling here. Inhaling and exhaling with control over to the left again. Nice and slow, 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 slow with control. And once the legs touch the ground, softening through the stomach, taking a few easy breaths here. All right, last time, inhaling, both legs back to center. Releasing here. All right, keeping the legs up, bringing the arms alongside the body. This time we'll do a few spinal rolls. So bringing the legs straight back up over top of the head, rolling up onto the shoulders, then rolling forward again into a squat position. And we'll roll back and forward again 2 more times. And then on the last time, we want to get up onto our feet in a squatting position. So when you're ready, arms alongside the body, using the legs for momentum, rolling up, rolling forward, rolling back, rolling forward, rolling back. This time into the squat. All right, walking feet out a little bit wider in the squat position. Bringing the hands down, either on top of the feet or curling the hands into the balls of the feet or into the arches of the feet. Inhale. Looking up. Exhale, extending the legs long, folding forward over top of the legs. Inhale, squatting, bringing the bottom right down to the heels. Looking up. Exhale. Folding forward. Inhale, releasing the bottom down, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. All right, rolling the spine all the way up, so we're up standing. Walking the feet together, toes and ankles together, knees together. This time, as we inhale, bring the arms alongside the ears, and I'll just turn around for a moment so that you can see where we're heading. Inhaling to center, growing tall, nice and long through the spine. And as we exhale, bending through the knees, dropping the bottom down towards the heels. Coming down as low as you can. Inhale, rising up. Exhale up. Again with control, using your leg muscles, spine nice and straight. Inhaling, rising up. Exhale, releasing down with control. Inhale, rising up. One more time. Exhale, bringing the bottom down towards the heels. Inhale, rising up. Releasing the arms, giving the legs a little shake. All right, coming back down to the mat again. And just before you release down altogether, just grabbing the strap and placing it close by, along with a couple of blocks as well. So releasing back down onto the mat again. Bending through both knees, bringing the heels close to the bottom. Lifting the right leg straight up, we're going to cross the right leg across the left, and we're going to stack the knees so that they're crossing over together as if you're sitting in a chair and you're crossing your legs. So that's the position that we want for the legs. Just very gently squeezing the abdominal muscles in and tilting the pelvis up. So we don't want an arch in the back, we want to be flattening the lower back on the mat. As we do this, lifting both legs straight up, we want that 45-degree angle with the legs again. With the arms, we're going to cross the right arm underneath the left, crossing the elbows over, and then bringing the backs of the forearms together, backs of the hands together. So we're coming up into eagle pose, but we're doing it on our backs today. So bringing the knees over the hips, elbows, lifting the elbows up, bringing them closer to our head, making sure we're opening up through those shoulders, making sure that lower back is nice and flat on the mat, taking a few breaths here. One more breath. And slowly releasing the arms, lowering the legs down, uncrossing knees, and going to the other side. So bringing the left knee up towards the chest, crossing the left knee across the right, stacking those knees one on top of the other, tilting our pelvis towards our body, flattening that lower back onto the mat, lifting both legs up, making sure we're at that 45-degree angle, knees coming over the hips. And this time, crossing the left arm underneath the right, bringing the backs of the forearms together, palms together if you can reach. Making sure we're gently squeezing in through the solar plexus to lift the legs. Keep our lower back nice and flat on the mat. Lifting our elbows upwards so that the inner part of the elbows is coming close to the face. Taking a few breaths here in eagle. One more breath here. Slowly releasing the arms, bring the legs down, releasing the legs outwards, extending the legs long along the mat, give the legs a little shape. Now you might be feeling a smidgen tight through the front of the hips. So what we'll do is we'll grab a block, bending both knees, drawing the heels in towards the bottom, lifting the bottom up off the mat, and we're going to place the block just by our sacrum, so not completely under the bottom, not into the lower back, it's kind of halfway in between. So it's the bony bit of the very lower spine that we want the block to be placed in. So resting here, bring the arms alongside the body, and we're going to slowly extend the right leg, keep the left leg bent. Stay engaged through that right leg. One more breath. And bending through that right leg again. Drawing the heel back towards the bottom, placing the sole of the foot down to the mat. Extending the left leg long now. Now, if you like, you can extend the right leg long as well, so both legs long. And also, if you'd like, you can grab a second block if you like a stronger stretch through the front of the hips. So if you're placing a second block, bring both heels back and towards the bottom, lifting the pelvis up, placing that second block on top of the first. Make sure they're lined up. Make sure it's in the appropriate place for you. You might want it a little bit higher than the sacrum now. And extending both legs away. Keeping both legs engaged. And you'll really start to feel a very strong stretch through the front of the pelvis, through the hip bones there. If you're having two blocks, you'll roll slightly up onto the shoulders, tuck the chin into the chest to protect the neck. But keep the arms alongside the body. Staying nice and engaged through the legs, through the arms. One more breath here. Wherever you are, bending through the knees, drawing the heels in towards the bottom, squeezing the bottom, lifting the pelvis up towards the ceiling, removing the blocks, placing them off to one side, and rolling the spine back down. All right, if you like, grabbing a blanket, extending both legs long, placing the blanket over top, allowing the arms and the legs to roll away from the body. Tucking the chin into the chest, extending the back of the neck along the mat. Finding a spot on the ceiling to focus on. And softening your gaze on that spot on the ceiling. And closing the eyes. Bring your awareness, bring your mind to the breath. Breathing in through the nose, back of the throat, down into the lungs. Out of the lungs, back of the throat, out through the nose. Feeling the movement of the chest as you inhale and exhale. Feeling the chest and the abdomen rising and falling with each breath. Now bringing your mind to the shape of your body lying on the floor, as if you can see yourself from above. Having a picture in your mind of the shape of your legs and your arms and your body lying on the mat. Now have a picture in your mind of the color of clothes that you're wearing. The texture and the weight of the clothes on your skin. The feeling of the air on your exposed skin. Now bringing your mind to any sounds outside of the room. Allowing your mind to move from sound to sound without attaching any thoughts to the sounds. What's the farthest thing in the distance that you can hear? Now bringing your awareness to the sounds inside the room. Allowing your mind to move from sound to sound like a radar. Now bringing your awareness to the sound of your breathing, the breath moving in and out of your body. Now taking 3 deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling with a sigh. Inhaling. Inhaling. Now beginning to wriggle the fingers and the toes, bringing some movement back into the body. And when you're ready, with the eyes closed, rolling over onto your right side, pausing on your right side for a moment. With your eyes closed, pushing yourself back up to a seated position. Finding a comfortable seated position. Either with legs crossed or on the shins. Once you're settled, rolling the shoulders back and down, placing the hands either on the knees or placing the right hand on top of the left, palms face up and relax. Growing nice and tall through the spine, lifting up through the side waist, front and back of the body. Up through the spine, the neck, top of the head. Starting with your comfortable breathing ratio, or if you're not sure what that is, we'll just begin by counting the breath. So observing the breath, breathing in through the nose, back of the throat, down into the lungs, out of the lungs, back of the throat, out through the nose. We'll do a few rounds like this, and without forcing the breath, just making a mental note of how long it takes you to do one inhale and one exhale. So we're counting as if we're counting seconds. So we want the breathing to be nice and smooth. So after a few rounds, you may have noticed that with each round of breath, the breathing is different. That's quite normal. So now I want you to take the average count of breath and try and make each round, each inhale and each exhale, exactly the same breath count. So whether you found that your average was a 3 breath count, a 4, maybe a 5, we want to just gently encourage breathing, the inhale and the exhale to the same breath count. If you find that this is a little too much, then drop one count off the breath. And just find a ratio that's comfortable and accessible for you. If you already have a comfortable breathing ratio, then now is a good time to start extending the breath, so adding one count and either doing a few rounds with one extra count, or with each round of breath adding one and then another and then another. And of course, with that technique as well, if you find that the breathing becomes uncomfortable, then do step down, count Controlling the breath with pranayama should be a gentle practice and a practice that we should do every day. And with each technique of pranayama, we want to spend at least 1 month with each technique. This allows the body to adjust to the new way of breathing without stressing sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, without stressing the mind, without stressing the body. So this equal breathing is known as kumbhaka breath. Once you've reached your comfortable extended breath, you might like to try doing antar, which is holding the breath. So at the top of the inhale, we will hold the breath, ideally for the same count as the inhale. If you're starting off with holding the breath, just hold it for 1 count before exhaling again. If antar is familiar to you, the next thing that you might like to add on is when you are doing the internal breath retention, is very gently dropping the chin down to the chest as we hold the breath. Gently drawing in the belly button into the spine very softly. And just before you're about to exhale, releasing the solar plexus, lifting the chin, and then exhaling. After your next full round of breath, dropping the antar, holding the breath, and the jalandhara, bandha, the throat lock, but continuing with the extended breath, or continuing with the equal breathing of kumbhaka breath. After your next round of breath, dropping the concentration on counting the breath altogether and allowing the breathing to return to its natural, spontaneous pattern. And just observing how the breath is feeling now. How the mind is feeling now compared to the beginning of class. And how the body is feeling now. To close the practice, we will chant 3 Oms. Inhaling to prepare. And exhaling. Inhaling for Om. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Rubbing the palms of the hands together, creating some heat. And placing the palms of the hands over the eyes, peering into the palms of the hands, allowing the eyes adjust to the light. Bring the palms of the hands over the face and the cheeks now, the throat and the neck. Placing the palms together again, creating heat. Rubbing the backs of the hands, fingers and thumbs, wrists, forearms. Placing the hands back into the heart center. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining me for class today. I hope you enjoyed that session and are feeling a lot more loose, maybe a lot more energized through the legs and the body now. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this class, give it a like. And if you'd like to support me in making more of this content, head over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Santulan yoga. You will greatly help me in making more content like this, and you can give me suggestions of what classes that you'd like to see, what content you'd like to see. So head on over there and check it out. Thank you.